All motivation podcasts are strictly based on opinion. Any facts given should and will be backed up by a source. If a source is not given, then it should not be taken otherwise.
Now I'ma I get it until my numbers call. Till I'm just a name and a memory on my homies' wall. I be moving on, so trying to just build my dome up. Till I'm just a same and my toes up.
Welcome to the newest episode of Motivation Inspired and our fifth episode of our dating series, Dating Doomed or Destined, where we're talking about, is dating today doomed or is it destined to get better? I, of course, am your host, Curtis Moore, aka Curly Mo, or of course, you can call me Mo. And this is like my third time recording this part. I had some technical issues with what I was recording with before. So I am actually recording from my laptop this time. So if it sounds a little bit different, I do apologize. So this is going to be a little bit different for me because of I am a pacer and I like to pace, but because I'm recording from my laptop, I'm gonna have to sit and do this. So, I mean, that's something that you probably didn't need to know, but it is what it is. Also, before I get started, I want to talk about something. Uh, Normally, I try to cater to all audiences. I'm basically walking on eggshells. But in order for me to get my message across, I'm going to have to let loose and be me. So if I do offend somebody with what I talk about, I do apologize. But as my statement at the beginning of the podcast always says, this is strictly based on opinion unless otherwise stated as fact, which would be backed up by a source. So don't take it in offensive. I know these days we like to take things in offense. So I hope you continue to watch and listen to the podcast. But anyway, today's episode is a popular one and one that will probably get some disagreements because I probably have the unpopular opinion on this. Today, one of the biggest, if not the biggest factors in dating today is social media. These days, everything is on or going through social media. And now, social media is also being used as a form of dating. But these days, the way a lot of people use social media can be and is a problem. Today's episode is called Hold Up, Let Me Post It Real Quick. Social media platforms were created as a great tool to connect with new people and to reconnect with people that has come into your life. These days, social media has become a must in a lot of people's lives. So when you get into the dating world, how social media is used by the parties involved is a very important factor. I remember the days when social media used to be things like Black Planet or just Yahoo Mail, and where you had to go to talk to somebody, you would have to go to Yahoo Instant Messaging, which now would be considered chat. But even before then, we didn't have social media. We had mail, U.S. postal mail, pen pals, and that's how we met people. So it wasn't a wide range of ways to connect to people across the U.S. or across the world. But with social media, it enabled everyone to be able to connect with not only people that are close and within the town vicinity or whatever, it was able to connect to people across the world. So therefore you get to meet more people that has some of the similar interests that you have. And so that was what social media used to be. Black Planet. It used to be Yahoo. MySpace eventually came along, but you had those little things. There was others, but I mean, right now I can't recollect. But anyway, now social media has gravitated to better means such as um, Facebook messaging. You can inbox anybody, direct messages. Now you can do video calls and add photos to your page directly. So social media has improved since back when I was in high school or in college my first year. So when you get into the dating world, how social media is used by the parties involved is a very important factor. Do they use it very often or do they use it vaguely? What do they use social media for? The use of social media is affecting a lot of relationships in so many different ways, and we're about to talk about a few. Number one, people are projecting an image that is not really theirs. People will get on these platforms and behind the computer act bad or become sexual or however to get someone's attention. What do they call them? Keyboard warriors or however. People that will turn around and try to bully and talk mess behind the keyboard or project themselves to be some kind of sexual freak or something. People get bold when they're not face to face with someone. And these days, you're getting a lot of that. You're getting a lot of people that are bullying and that are expressing their opinion, but then when the other party says something about meeting, they don't meet them. They talk about, well, it's too dangerous or it might be a setup. Well, what do you expect? You can't act one way behind a computer and then act a different way when trying to meet in person. You have to face your decision. But as far as the dating world, a lot of people project themselves to be something that they're not to try to impress the person that they like. So they act more outgoing or outspoken. But then it's different when you meet in person. I remember a situation when I did get back into the dating world. I remember that this one lady was projecting herself to be old school. She was talking about what happened to men that would open the door for a lady and what would happen to getting flowers and the respect factor and ladies just appreciating a good man. So she was talking all good for me. So I approached her. I said, my name is Curtis Moore and I'm from so and so. And I see how you're talking about respectable man and all that. And I would like to take you out sometime to get to know you and maybe see how things go. She agreed. Well, I'm not going to get into the story because it's a nice long story, but when we did go to pick a place, I was the one carrying the conversation. She was barely talking. She dipped deep into my pockets on food. Now I don't mind spoiling because I'm that type of person, and this may be the hero complex coming out, but I'm that type of person that's old school. I'm a man that will take care of his date. Not saying that a woman can't take care of me, but I'm that type of man. So I told her to order what she wanted, thinking she was going to be respectable enough to just respect me, but that was my fault. I ended up spending over $120 on a meal, and only 25 of that was mine, or it may have been 30. But I remember it was around that much. And it happened again. She contacted me and told me that she apologized for, she was just shy, but she enjoyed herself and she would like to go get lunch. So me thinking, okay, if we're getting lunch, she gonna the way she put it, it was like she was gonna take care of her lunch, or she was gonna take care of mine too. I couldn't tell, but that's the way that she projected it, and I messed around and went anyway. And long story short, there was another, and this was the next day. There was another 78, I think it was around $80 that I spent on a place that you don't spend that much unless you have like a big family. So she projected herself to be old school and respectable when really she was just looking for somebody to take care of her in a way that isn't respectable. I don't want to talk about nobody because she might hear this, but the truth is the truth. I said I wasn't going to talk, step around eggshells anymore, so I'm going to try to just speak my truth. But anyway, like I said, there comes a line that you draw on when you first start talking or dating to somebody, and you must not cross that line. Quit projecting yourself to be something that you're not. Number two, people are using it to play around and joke instead of making it a useful tool to better themselves and meet people, whether it's new people or reconnect with the other one. Now, this is where I feel like that I am going to get the unpopular opinion because I hear all the time my Facebook is just for me joking, or my social media is just for jokes and just for laughs and just for entertainment. I also hear I'm just posting to be posting. I'm just posting to be posting. It has nothing to do with me or what I think. And I feel like that's a load of crap because why would you turn around and post that stuff anyway if it's just something for you to be posted? If it's nothing that matters to you, why do you post it? Oh, to get entertainment. Well, some people don't use it as entertainment. Well, it's their fault. Well, the fact is, if you are single or if you're looking for somebody and you put yourself out there like that, as in one of my podcasts, you get what you give. That is the reason why you put yourself out there in a way that is not supposed to be out there. Quit using social media just for joking. You can use it as a positive tool. You can build your own business. You can meet people and actually make good friends. Well, I don't want no friends. Well, then why are you on social media? Again, for entertainment. Well, I'm sorry to say, but you're gonna get what you give. People are gonna quit taking you seriously. You put out there what you want to receive. And that's not just talking about dating. That is talking about social media, period. That's talking about life, period. There is power in the tongue. It says it in the Bible, and people talk about it all the time about manifestations and all that stuff. There is power in the tongue. When you project something out there, you're putting it out in the atmosphere and in the environment that is going to manifest itself into something else. So, as far as dating is concerned, if you're trying to find someone that's going to take you seriously, if you're trying to find someone that is going to treat you right, then all this joking and just putting stuff out there needs to halt. Because some people, I mean, even jobs go back and look at your profile. They go back and look at your profile and see the things that you post, to see the things that you put out there. And when you put it out there, then they take that in consideration. Not necessarily what you post, but the fact that, okay, this person likes to joke around. This person is so violent and stuff. You're putting it out there for them to see. And you can't walk into a job interview and say, oh, it's just for laughs, it's just for jokes, so I just be posting. Because they're not going to take you serious. So the same with dating when you're trying to pick up a man or pick up a woman, whatever you're trying to pick up, you got to put yourself out there in a way that is more truth than not serious. Number three, people are posting any and everything going on in their lives on social media. I see a lot of this too. And I used to do it. I used to put every little thing on social media because I was trying to get people's attention. Well, I'm leaving the house now, about to head to Piggly Wiggly to go pick up some honey buns and something that I like to drink. And then I'm going to head over to Walmart and try to shop for this and that. I'm just putting all of that out there. Well, I'm going out on a date with so and so, and I think it's going to go well. I think so and so is pregnant. I'm watching this on TV. Da da da. Just putting all of your business out there on social media. And that is a dangerous thing. That is a very dangerous thing to put yourself out there like that. I have a story about that too. I am a wrestler, as most of you that listen knows. I am a wrestler, and if you follow me, you know what type of person I am, and you know that I am a wrestler. So I used to try to pick up any and every kind of fan. So I used to post all this stuff, hoping that people that would be interested in the life of Curly Moe, the stunt Curly Moe, was going to jump on the bandwagon. And so I had a little scare. I went out of state and I went to a wrestling show. And of course, everybody knows that the good guy at intermission will come out and try to sign autographs and things like that. So there was one time where I was signing autographs and this weird dude come walking up to me. And I don't try to talk about anybody because people can talk about me. But this dude seemed kind of off and weird, and he comes to me and he says, "Curly Mo, I saw that you was at Walmart and so and so. I was gonna come down there and holler at you, but I changed my mind." Now in my head, I'm like, "Okay, what are you trying to come holler at me for?" And then when you look at them, it's like, I mean, you don't judge a book by its cover. You're never supposed to do that. So I probably was in the wrong. But these days, you never know who you're coming across. So I kind of looked and I was like, this guy was on my Facebook. He saw everything I posted and where I was going and everything. Now, that could be dangerous, especially for you ladies, Because if you have came across a guy that is obsessed with you, which a lot of y'all, I know majority of y'all ladies are so beautiful, then y'all gonna have guys come across, if not all of you, all of my ladies that are listening, gonna come across a guy that is more interested than he should be. And that's how a lot of people wind up missing and disappearing and all that. So please do not put everything on social media. Don't project yourselves to be out there like that. And when you're talking about the dating world, you are gaining haters. Oh, I'm dating so and so now. Okay. Then you're going to have somebody come up and say, well, so and so was just in my bed last night. Or I saw so and so with this. Another story, and then I'm going to have to take a break. But there was a woman that I was dating, and I was so used to being so excited about who I was dating that, of course, I would post it on social media and stuff like that. And so when we started, she turned around and said, we're not going to tell anybody until we're ready. And I'm like, why? And in my brain, I'm thinking because of what has happened to me in the past, I'm thinking, why is she trying to hide our relationship? And she wouldn't let me say anything. She just said, we don't need to do nothing because we work together. We don't need to do nothing that brings the attention to us. We're going to act like everything is still normal. And so for about 6 or 7 months, we didn't tell nobody. We never really just crossed paths. We met outside of work, and that's how we operated. And then we started to kind of show here and there. We would talk to each other more, and I would go visit her. She would come by and say, "Okay," come down my station and say, "Hey, I'm headed home. I'll see you." Blase, blase, things like that. And there was one in particular time where I had to stay late. So she come up and she said, "Hey, I'm headed home." And I was like, "Okay, I'll see you when I get off." And that was that. Well, some of my coworkers turned around and saw that, and they was like, "Wait a minute." They started talking amongst themselves and stuff, and then they said, "Hey, are y'all two talking?" And of course, I said, "Yeah, we're talking." Well, how long y'all been talking? And started asking me all these questions. And I said, for a while. And they started getting interested in me and her and our conversations and stuff. And I was like, y'all are being too nosy. And so then that's when the stuff started. Comments about us was starting. If you gonna stop, we're gonna go tell your girlfriend. Or I don't know if this person was interested in me or not. They never spoke up or said anything, but they was making comments like, "Oh, I'm sure your girlfriend thinks about this, and your girlfriend this, and your girlfriend this," and I'm sitting here like, "Okay, why do y'all keep bringing her up?" And it woke me up because here it was. I'm thinking that she's trying to keep our relationship hidden, and what it was, she was trying to keep from the drama coming into our relationship too soon, so we had time to enjoy each other without having to worry about people sticking their nose in our relationship. And I learned a valuable lesson from that. I actually learned several lessons from dating her, and anybody I've dated, I've learned some type of lesson, and that's what you got to do is apply the lessons that you've learned. So one of the biggest lessons I did learn is Not everybody deserves to know what's going on in your life, not just with dating, but with your life, period. Because people will talk against and use that stuff against you. So you have got to be careful with what you post on your social media because people are using that against you. And that is what number four we're going to talk about, the flip side of number three. People are using social media to research your lives and to use it against you and other people. People will take your information that you posted and use it against you. They might take it and tell somebody else about this or that and the other. I know a situation where somebody told me that they was dating someone and they posted something and the person posted something on social media for a joke. Well, somebody went back and told their partner about it. Their partner got mad and it was a big mess, and it started an argument. And what ended up happening was the person had to end up deleting their. I mean, they didn't have to because of the request of the partner, but the person ended up deleting their Facebook and everything just to please their partner because they felt like that there was going to be more problems with this in the future. So, in order to avoid problems, they ended up deleting their social media and would get on there very, very limited times. So, they wanted they looked at it as their relationship was more important than social media. So, therefore, that makes a good mind. On the other hand, people that don't see this as important will let social media ruin their relationships. They'll let it ruin their relationships and then they find themselves lonely. So people are using social media to research people's lives and use things against them, like catfishes. Catfishes will research, or a lot of catfishes will research somebody's lives. Some of them just take their pictures, but they will research somebody's lives and then they will take it, create their own viewpoint of the person, and use it to go after people or for their own benefit. Now, you have the physical catfishes, which will just take pictures and videos and stuff and project themselves to be somebody that they're not. And then you have the social catfishes. And a lot of people don't talk about that. But the social catfishes will project themselves to be somebody socially and personality wise. They'll act like somebody else that they know or came across or want to be, and they'll project that onto somebody that they like. But in the end, the person finds out that they're not who they say they are. So you got to be careful with what you post on social media. You got to be careful with turning around and allowing people just to do anything because on the flip side, people can use that against you. I know somebody that ended up pregnant and there was people that was talking about them. They posted it on social media and people was talking about them. And that's not how you want to celebrate a pregnancy. You don't want people to be talking about you because you're pregnant. It don't make any sense. And people shouldn't talk about you if you're pregnant, but there's a difference. This is a saying I like to say a lot. There's a difference between what should be and what is. Right? People should not talk about somebody being pregnant. People should not go on social media and project themselves to be people that they're not. People should not turn around and take people's pictures and stuff. But the reality of the situation is some people don't care and will do it anyway. So pay attention to what you're putting on social media. The best thing is more discreetness. The less you post on social media, the better. And it is time for my break. It was actually well past time, but I had to get that statement in. But I am taking a break right now, and I will be back with more of Dating Doomed or Destined. Welcome back, and we was talking about how social media is affecting the dating world today. And we left off at number 5, which I mentioned in the last podcast. People are using social media to expose themselves sexually or sell sex, which takes away the sacredness of sex. Now, used to like I mentioned in the last podcast, people used to look at sex as something sacred or looked at it as something that was very private and personal. And now people are being outrageous with it. They are taking it to a whole new level on social media. Now you don't have the prostitutes that used to stay on the streets as much as you have on social media. People are selling sex. Ladies are out there exposing themselves or damn near exposing themselves, wearing all this stuff that is see through or provocative, or then they'll turn around and post themselves naked and have a emoji covering it up. They are out selling content. It's just they are using it very outrageously. And it's funny to me. I ain't gonna lie to you. It is funny to me when a female inboxes me and says, I have content. I'll sell you pictures for this much, videos for this much. And I just laugh because I think it's pretty funny. Why would I sit there and pay to see you naked when I can go on Google or go to a porn site and see everything I want to see, and probably that looks a lot better than you? I don't understand that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to knock their hustle because some that's their hustle, but at the same time, you're trying to make yourself be a responsible lady, yet you're turning around exposing yourself for money. I don't get that. So if you're trying to date, why would you do that? You're gonna get those guys that's gonna feel like that you're easy. That's obvious. It doesn't matter how uneasy you are. Well, it's just pictures and stuff. I'm not going around sleeping with them or anything, but still, you're exposing yourself and exposing your body. Men is sitting here wearing these things trying to show off their dick. Come on now. I know this is not supposed to be an X-rated show or R-rated show, but I have to get my point across. The point being is, if you're trying to date, then stuff like that is going to draw people that you're not going to want. Well, you didn't have a problem with me doing it before. Well, you didn't have a problem showing yourself enough. Why can't you keep showing yourself for me? And it's not just taken away from the sacredness of sex. It's taken away from the sacredness of dating and intimacy. Why would a guy want to be intimate with a woman that's just showing everything and their sacred parts to any and everybody? It don't matter if they're getting paid for it. Well, I'm lonely. I need me a man that. Well, you're not gonna get one. Not a respectable one. Same with men. So you're using it in the wrong way, and this is take away away from your dating world. I mean, think about it as a gift on Christmas, even though Christmas is not the same as it used to be anymore. Even that holiday is not as sacred, which I know some people don't celebrate it anymore, but still. Point being, look at it as Christmas gifts. If you turn around and open your Christmas gifts right when you get them, then it takes away from the anticipation and the surprise. And then it's just like, well, there it is. Number six, people are using social media to catch the latest negative trend and use it for themselves to be cool. There's a lot of this going on in social media and in the dating world. Like, one of the biggest trend is these women are turning around saying that there's no good men out there, that all men are the same, and they're using that as an excuse for they're using it as an excuse because they've been hurt by so many men. But the truth is, they have been hurt by the same type of man because they choose that type of man. Same when men choose women. They can't get a good woman because they're out there being ratchet and all that stuff. Well, it is the women that you choose. You don't want to accept the challenge of taking a good woman and letting her see the side of you that is worth seeing. Or you're not patient enough to unlock the box when the key is finally there. And what I mean by that, these ladies that are respectable ladies is taking their time, and you don't have the patience because you're ready for uh kissing and being in the bed and all of that stuff. And because they're not doing that, you're turning to something else. And social media is the worst place to go for that. You got that as a big trend. That are turning around twerking and twerking and twerking, and they're just sending it all over the place. Not being respectable. That is another big trend. Another trend is you got a lot of these ladies that are turning gay or supposedly gay because men ain't doing what they're supposed to do, and because quote unquote women can do it better, or at least that's what they're saying. But the thing is because a lot of men ain't putting their time into their lady, and that is the truth. Men is belittling women on social media. They're trying to flash what money they have. They're turning around showing that they're rolling up and smoking. They're just, I mean, people in general is doing the most on social media. They're making trends and they're catching the latest trends. And it's not a positive trend, it's negative trends. So when you use social media for things like that in the dating world, what do you expect that you're going to get? Well, that's what I want. Well, more power to you. But if you wind up hurt, or if you wind up with somebody that doesn't do what they're supposed to do, then all you can blame is yourself. Quit putting stuff off on everybody else. The choices you make got consequences. One of my biggest statements that I used to say all the time is for every choice that you make, there is a consequence, whether good or bad. You make good choices, you're going to get good consequences. You make bad choices, you're going to get bad consequences. It's just a part of life. And these things are affecting the dating world because you're going out doing all this stuff and people are looking at you and they don't want to date something like that. So be careful with following the trend. Some trends aren't good to follow and make you look silly. So, how do these things affect the dating pool? Well, all of these things are contributing to the designation of the destruction of true love and relationships. Think about it. I mean, now people aren't out there looking for true love, they're looking for true lust. They're not out there to get to know somebody. They're out there to get what they can get from them. That doesn't necessarily mean money. Sometimes it just means uh, they're looking for somebody to give them some, or they're looking for somebody to take care of them. Things like that. So people are out for themselves now. I mean, you hear it all the time. People say, well, I'm not trying to get hurt no more. So that's why I got my wall up. So they're not letting anybody in. But just like a bicycle, you can't turn around just because you fall a couple of times and hurt yourself, doesn't mean that you just completely give up. It just means that you got to take care of the wounds and get back on the bike and keep trucking till you get it right. People are afraid to get hurt. So instead of getting back up there and trying again, they rather stay away from it. Or they rather just get the benefits of the sexual part of relationships and not get the benefits of the intimacy or where feelings are involved. And it is tearing up true love. People don't go after true love anymore. People don't go after intimacy anymore. And it is killing the dating pool today. Now I got a lot more content that I have got to talk about or discuss, so I am going to have to kind of move forward. I mean, think about it. A unified family is a very powerful entity. Think of some of the famous families and how they have impacted the world so far. The Kennedys, the Kardashians, the Obamas, the McMahons in wrestling. I mean, there's so many families out there that is affecting the world today. The Chrisleys, if you've watched them, it's just it's amazing when a unified family comes together how much power is in that. Regardless of controversy, they have made an impact. So, what better way to destroy that power than to put out negative messages through social media? From jump, stuff like men ain't girls that like girls. Oh, yeah, one thing I forgot to mention the rose toys or the sex toys that they put out there. As I mentioned in the last podcast, people are using sex toys as substitutes instead of as accessories. So it's affecting relationships because now a lot of relationships are based on sex. And when somebody's not pleased, it's because the other person is inadequate. Or at least that's what they say, but it might not be the other person is inadequate. It may be your inadequacy because of you using things in place of it. But I already mentioned that in the last podcast. So moving forward, now kids are doing grown TikTok stuff. Kids are acting grown. They're got women are trying to have this Barbie doll look when men are wanting natural women, but they think that that's what men want, and then they're trying to cover up their self consciousness because they think they look better like that. You got down low men and women, and it goes on and on and on. People are going to disagree when I say this, and I mentioned this earlier, but posting and sharing things are not posting to be posting. Because why post it? What is the purpose of it? If you have no reason behind it, why post it in the first place? If you are posting and sharing something, there is a reason behind it. I don't care what anybody says. There is a reason behind it, whether you're trying to get people's attention, whether you're trying to get over some loneliness or whatever, there's something behind the reason why you're doing it, regardless of what you say. Facebook is just for joking, not being serious. Facebook is for entertainment. All that is BS to me. I don't care what you say, it's BS. Be sure that when you are dating someone, y'all need to establish boundaries early on about social media. Talk about how each other feel about it and where the boundaries lie. There's a lot of time where one person is posting so much on social media and the other person is discreet, and the one person that is posting so much on social media posts something that has nothing to do with their relationship, but it make it seem like it does. And then the person that is being discreet gets upset. It is just a whole bunch of stuff. So early on, you need to talk about each other's Facebooks, Twitters, Instagrams, all that other stuff, and what makes you comfortable and not. Communication is the key. Communication. Come to a consensus, come to an agreement, compromise. Remember, every relationship and people are different. I'm going to do a podcast on that too. Every relationship and people are different. I might even go. I had an idea of doing that another podcast, but I think I'm going to do that one next. I think I am. We'll see by the time I finish this one. With that being said, choose what aspect of your relationship you both should allow to be exposed on social media. In my opinion, the less of your business you expose, especially on social media, the less drama you will have in your relationship and the more privacy you will have. That is just my opinion. Now, there may be couples that it doesn't bother them that people keep up drama because they're going to keep doing what they're doing regardless. They're not going to talk back or nothing. They're just going to laugh and move on. And if that is you, more power to you. Do what you do. Because, like I said in the beginning, everybody and every relationship is different. What works for you might not work for me, and vice versa. That is why you got to take everybody's advice about your relationship with a grain of salt because everybody's not the same. That woman may not be the woman like your partner had, your homeboy has, so she might react to something different. That man may not be, even though that man is similar to your bestie's man, they have some differences as well, and they might not react to the same thing. So you got to keep that in mind. Social media, on the positive side, can be used as an amazing tool for dating when done right. I've been talking negative this whole time. Let's talk about some positives. With social media, you can connect with people who you come across, which makes it easier for you to find your type. It makes it easier to find people your type because if if you follow the people that are using Facebook as a positive, they got their brain together, and sometimes it's hard to find those. But go back and research their Facebook. Don't just look at their pictures. Look at what they post. Look at their past. Look at their family. You got to research and see if that person is a positive person. You can tell where their mindset is at by looking at their social media. And then when you get to know that person, you'll find more. You can capture your first moments, and a lot of the platforms keep up with the memories. Facebook got memories. Now smartphones got memories from pictures that you have in your phone and videos. Twitter, same thing. Instagram, all these keep up with memories. So social media can be used as a positive in your dating world because it brings back the memories of your first date or the first time y'all had an encounter or anything like that. Or it could, depending on if you post it. You can use social media to create special messages and romantic gestures. I have used social media to create a video Valentine's card. Well, it wasn't a card, it was just a Valentine's video. I have done that before. And one person loved it when I did it for them. Another person, they just kind of ignored it and it really pissed me off. But it come to find out that that person wasn't as interested in me as I thought they was at the time. And yeah, they paid for it because after that, after I found out and I left them alone, they was wanting me back and still to this day says that I was the best thing that ever happened to them and they really screwed up. But that's another story for another day. With social media, you can connect with other couples and plan trips and get advice. Now, I know I said earlier, every couple and people are different, but just you know, you still can listen to people's advice because who knows, it might work for you. You never know. But you can connect with other couples and see how they have fun and what kind of dates they have and stuff, and go on double and triple dates and stuff like that, plan trips and all that stuff. Social media is good for stuff like that. When used in a healthy manner, it can elevate your relationship to higher heights. It can. You can post these on social media and people will see that and they will respect your relationship. They will help you out when you need help. It can elevate your relationship when used right. Like I said, you can plan trips together. You can plan your wedding if you decide you want to get married. All these things, they will elevate your relationship when used in a positive manner. I'm telling you. So, social media can be used negatively and positively. You want to stay away from the negative stuff. Remember, what you put out there is what you're going to get back. Use it in a positive manner, not the negative. Don't follow the trends. Be that person that is, be that person that's unique, that doesn't follow the crowd, the one that stands out, so that that lady or that man can see you and be like, oh, she is different. He is different. I kind of like him. I kind of like her. Stand out. So use your social media in a positive manner and beware. Please beware of people that will use things against you. Like I said, in my opinion, I would rather just keep everything private, but to each their own. Announcements. I'm still planning on doing a special live video podcast. I'm still working out the kinks and I'm trying to get a date to do it, and I will start promoting it real soon. It'll be on my condition. It would actually be my first video podcast, but I'm working out the kinks and I will be announcing and promoting that really, really soon. So just bear with me. Uh, with my normal recording platform messing up, and I'm having to do this, which, like I said, the sound is probably different. There's probably some in and out, so I'm gonna have to probably go back and do a lot of editing. But nevertheless, I'm still able to do that. I did get 2 July podcasts out there and June podcast out there. So, I hate that I didn't get a July one in, but here I am now, and that's what matters. I'm trying to decide on if I will start having guests on my podcast. Now, see, I was going to save that for my podcast, my video podcast, when I start my video podcast up for my wrestling. But I'm kind of feeling like that I can invite guests onto this one. I know sometimes y'all get tired of just hearing me talk. So I might start doing little interviews and stuff. My podcast is starting to get a little bit longer. So I used to try to keep it at 30, but I couldn't do that. So now I've been doing 45. And now this one's going to be even longer than that. So I might just go ahead and take up an hour. And I might just involve people in my podcast. I don't know yet. I will let you know. And it's just going to be random people that I might know or come across, and we'll see how it goes. Speaking of, like I said, there's been some delays on my video podcasting, but it's definitely coming. Like I said, my recording has been messing up, and I'm still trying to work out kinks as far as the video, but it is coming real soon. So just bear with me a little bit longer. This has been an ongoing thing for almost a year, and I don't want to just keep it up. And my time is starting to wind down, so I have to move forward. Uh, my time as far as wrestling is winding down also because of my condition. So you need to try to catch me when you can. There's 2 shows I will be on, and I'll be returning to the ring. One of those shows will be August the 26th in Houston, Mississippi. That's August 26th in Houston, Mississippi. OWO will be returning. And please come out and support that. And the other show is not yet announced. We don't have a date for it yet, but as soon as we get a date for it, we're gonna announce it on here. Please come out and support OWO Wrestling and support all the wrestlers. Throwing your body on the line is a lot, so we need your support. My YouTube binge song of the day is called Let's Ride. I've been binging on that song by Montel Jordan, featuring Master P and Silk the Shocker. You will love that song. It's an old song, an old R&B song. Go back and listen to it and vibe with it. My next episode, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this one because it's gonna be good. Different strokes for different folks. That is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how everything in a relationship is different from other relationships. So, yeah, that's what I was planning on doing anyway. So, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how different age and race and sex and personality is. So, we're going to dig deep on that one. So, you're not going to want to miss this. Like and share my podcast. I also have business cards I will be giving out. Please inbox me if you need the links to share. I'm on Spotify. It is free. So please share it to everybody that you know. Tell them to go listen to all my episodes and catch up. I need more people to follow. Please don't just go listen to it. Please follow my podcast so you can get the notifications. And that is all for today. Thank you so much for joining me and bearing with me as this recording is not as great as it normally is, but that's okay. We're going to work with it. Thank you for joining us, and I hope that I can continue to motivate and inspire your life one more time.